Welcome back to the Slanted Attic Experience. I'm your host, Tyler, and this is episode 62. The sports room is back for round 8, and this might genuinely be the most packed installment we have ever put together. Liam and Graham are in the building, and the sports world handed us everything this week. We get into the NFL draft with full Eagles and Pittsburgh takes, the A.J. Brown trade drama that nobody saw coming, and McVay's decision to not watch tape on his first-round pick that somehow keeps getting more baffling every time we revisit it. Playoff hockey brings the Pittsburgh and Philadelphia series front and center and sparks a debate that gets real. Which sport actually has the best playoffs in professional sports? Then we get into something every fan needs to hear right now. Are everyday people being completely priced out of attending live sports? From there, it's the NBA playoffs, a Champions League recap, a full World Cup 2026 preview with ticket prices that will make you reconsider your life choices, and a Masters bet that actually paid off. This episode is stacked, it moves fast, and the sports world's got everything right now. You don't want to miss this one. Let's dive right into it.
Like 1 in a million, 2 million,
We don't even see that as much anymore, though. I mean,
No.
you still have to, with all, the physical therapy and training and everything these kids receive at a young age, the travel baseball, the exposure to the sport, even kids that are naturally athletic and gifted still sometimes are barely outpacing the rest just because of the rigid structure and the programs that they have now.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's just the nature of youth sports. And
yeah, we talked about
which
that
is
extensively.
which is just toxic. And it's not just baseball, it's every sport.
Yeah.
It's soccer, baseball, basketball. Like it's only about winning. It's only about putting up the biggest stats. It's not development or team-based. Like it's all just about how can I get my kid more out there? How can I get attention on my kid so that scouts and recruiters see him and fuck everybody else,
Yeah.
That's
I feel like too it even hurts the talented kids because then they don't even get better. They're just the best and they just dominate. And then they get to high school and then you're like, oh, I'm not actually that good because you didn't work on any skills. You were just bigger and threw harder than that person. And that should be someone helping your high school program or whatever, but they're not because you were just oh, you're big, just get out there and dominate. And you don't actually teach anybody how to play sports.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why some of the best players are not the ones that were the highest recruited players. The best players, for example, in football, Justin Jefferson had 0 stars out of high school. He wasn't highly recruited at all. And then just worked his way up to that point. But it takes a certain type of mentality to be able to do that. And you also have to just go all in and realize that you're not really gonna, be able to if you wanted to focus on something else, you can't do that. You gotta go all in on whatever it is. And there's also just not a lot of multi-sport athletes because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody focuses in on one sport and dedicates more time to that.
Liam, what do you think about this kid that the Eagles drafted? Great segue into the NFL draft. The guy that was just the athlete category on Madden.
I think, well, one, I just think it's sick that he got drafted at all. That's awesome. Basically, never played a snap of football. I mean, I feel like the Eagles in the last 10 years have kind of taken risks on some guys like this, and it's worked out. I kind of feel like it's that position. If you're athletic and can learn the technique, you're going to be good. So, it shows the other way that I was just saying how, it hurts some of these kids. Obviously, it helps them being, the top athletes and just being physically, an absolute specimen. But then we also have Mailata, who was the same thing. He never played football. And then you got Lane Johnson. So he's got 2 people to learn from as well.
Was he through, the same program? This guy was through, a international players program or something like that, right? Or
yeah, he was, the NFL now has, I forget what it's called, but all these, NFL Africa, NFL Australia, whatever, development leagues. So he was found through that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so NFL draft, big show out in Pittsburgh this year. I think there was like 800,000 people, largest crowd at an NFL draft to
Oh, that-
date. I'm sure that that'll be surpassed in the near future here as these events become larger and larger. I don't know if y'all were watching like the first day after the Steelers drafted, like people were just filtering out like
I was cracking up.
so
That'd be
fast.
me.
Yeah. I mean, people were definitely feeling some type about that. I would too. Like I don't think that's ever happened before, which is crazy. Like
Real
the
quick,
fact that you had oh sorry, go ahead.
it's the International Player Pathway Program, is what it's called.
International
Okay.
player pathway. Okay.
My bad, Graham. You're saying just like all the people leaving the draft.
Yeah, because I that's definitely never happened before. And the fact that you're calling him before, like the pick before, you would think that you would wait until you're actually on the clock to make that call and be like, "Hey, we're gonna draft you." But the fact that I guess they just assumed, "Oh, Dallas is on the clock. They're not picking a receiver because they already have Pickens and Lamb." But
Yeah,
I mean,
I was so confused because I didn't really think we were looking at Lemon at that pick
I
because
had no idea.
we had just traded for Pittman. We have DK Metcalf and Pittman both still
yeah,
under contracts, you know. And I was like, okay, this Lemon guy seems like he fits the 2/X position, which is exactly what we signed Michael Pittman for. So I was like, I don't really see us taking this guy at this spot. And then come to find out, like later that night, the next day, all this had unfolded. He was on the phone with Omar Khan, the GM for the Pittsburgh Steelers, as the Eagles were trading with Dallas for that pick. And he had to hang up on him and answer a call from Howie or I don't know who had called him at that
yeah.
point. But that was just crazy.
Also,
And then we reach for this guy, this tackle, and then it comes out 2 days later that Broderick Jones, we're releasing him, declining his fifth-year option because of that injury. I think it was in the Bears game last year. He had to have spinal fusion surgery, so
Tired?
his career's likely over. So a whole lot of drama, and we just reach for this guy that's only played in 14 games in his college career. So like right off the bat, day one of the draft was kind of shambles for me. But second day was okay. I think the third day, like the last couple picks, were much better for Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, you know, you don't find as many guys that late, but
I mean, I feel like it was a pretty weak draft overall.
agree.
Like, I'm not
yeah,
even thrilled
I
with the
agree.
trade up. I thought we kind of gave up a lot. I always feel like I was one of the few people holding on hope that AJ wasn't going anywhere and it was all smoke, but then they drafted him and I was kind of like, all right, maybe it's happening. But I like the pick. I mean, we need a slot receiver. We drafted defense the last 5 drafts in a row, so it made sense. Last time we traded up with Dallas to get a receiver, we swooped Smitty from the Giants. So hopefully this also brings us some good luck.
Yeah. Also, what's up with that? Why? I don't get why you would trade with an in division rival,
I think Jerry
especially
Jones
in
is
the draft.
dumb.
I don't
I think
I don't
Howie's like, sure,
understand
let's
that.
do it.
I
He
know.
doesn't care about those 3 draft picks. He'll cut somebody. He'll get a comp pick from something else. He'll figure out a way to get more picks. He always does.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just from a Dallas standpoint, though, it doesn't really add up to me. I I don't
Because
know.
help us get better. It doesn't. That's the weird part. Like, yeah, you get a
Yeah,
couple extra picks, but we're playing you twice next year, and you just helped us get better. It's weird.
yeah, it is weird. I I like if I were a GM personally, I wouldn't trade with like in division rivals. I would hesitate to even trade with like conference opponents,
Same.
especially like a contender, somebody that's
Yeah. Like
you're
if we're trading AJ, you ship him to the AFC. Like there's no way
right.
you're lining
He's
up against
not
him in the AFC Championship game or
right. No,
NFC Championship game.
No chance. What do
no
y'all
chance.
think of Drew Aller in the third round, baby?
I think a bit.
Yeah,
He is.
I think they just took they were like,
Got a
well,
QB.
let's see if we can just take a shot in the dark. But of all the quarterbacks that you could draft, like all the rookies that were available, I would say he's probably the weakest in terms of like he just had a season-ending injury. You still have hesitation whether Aaron Rodgers is going to come back or not. So you don't really have a quarterback. Like if you were going to draft a quarterback that might be a replacement, he wouldn't have been the option I would have gone with.
No, and I think we way reach for him in the third round. I think there were plenty of other guys available that would have better suited our needs. And then Drew Aller is probably going to be there in the fourth, maybe the fifth round for us to take a shot on. Like I just don't see that. What was it, round 3, pick 20 something or something like that? Like I just don't understand that reach at that point. That being said, I think we filled in some spots nicely later on, just with some depth with guys we could potentially use, put them at training camp, see what goes. Like Liam said, it's a weaker draft this year. I felt I wish we would have beefed up a little more on the offensive and defensive line depth chart, but hey, I mean, there's plenty of time before the season starts. Guys are entering free agency. Obviously, the whole AJ Brown thing is like sort of a deadline type deal. You said, what is it, June 1? The cap hit goes way down, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of moves around that time.
I don't think he's a shoe-in to the Pats, though. The other thing is, I don't see Howie just throwing away AJ Brown for like a third and a second. It's like, what do we don't have anything to gain from that, really.
Right.
Like, he could just sit on the bench and you save the 20 million in dead cap, and he's just not happy. It's like, I don't think what are we gonna get from the Pats? You saw the Waddle trade. Like AJ's better than Jalen Waddle. His value should be higher if you ask me. But I feel like everyone thinks they're gonna sell him for pennies on the dollar.
I don't think, I mean, if I'm the Eagles, I still would want at least like a first, maybe a second, and a player. So, and I don't think the Patriots are going to do that. I think the one team that might is the Raiders. I think they don't have
Give me Max Crosby.
wide receiver 1. Yeah, maybe they bundle in Max Crosby with it. I don't know.
The issues,
Or maybe it's just like a
issues. That whole shit with Baltimore backing out of that trade, dude, that had me
shady. I forgot about that already.
Yeah, shady.
I was
Real
so
shady.
upset. I was so upset about that. I was like, oh my God, these guys just gave up everything for this guy that might have issues. He's definitely a great edge rusher, but we're not sure where the injury bug had bit him and what was going on. And I was like, wow, they gave away the entirety of their future. I'm ecstatic. If this guy doesn't turn out, like, that would be fantastic. And then they gave what's his face a deal, a 3-year deal.
Hendrickson.
Diego
Like the
Pavia.
day.
No, I'm saying
Pavia.
totally
Yeah.
different story, but yeah. And then they signed Hendrickson the day after.
Yeah, 12 hours later. Like that deal wasn't already signed.
Right. Suspect. They need to investigate that.
Yeah, I think so too.
I do.
And we don't need to go off on the whole Rossini Vrabel thing.
Yeah, right.
But also,
how
aren't the Patriots getting investigated for tampering? Like, you're telling me that she and him aren't talking to AJ Brown this whole time when she's the one pushing AJ Brown trade rumors the entire time?
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, that's definitely because she's been the main reporter on that story.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's been pushed, and she's one of the main ones that's been pushing that. When it wasn't really like both sides, AJ Brown and the Eagles were like, no, I'm happy here. And then she's just stirring the pot, knowing that the Patriots are going to be the likely team that they trade with. So, yeah, I think they should definitely look into that for tampering. Also, that's definitely a conflict of interest if a reporter and a head coach are canoodling together.
Not open about it.
And not open about it. Yeah, having an affair, essentially.
Right.
Also, it would make sense that A.J. Brown and Vrabel would still talk because he played for him in Tennessee. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
so interesting tidbit. I had a podcast last weekend, and one of the guys was a Titans fan. So we talked about Arthur Smith a little bit, obviously being our new offensive coordinator for some time. And he said he thinks they got rid of Vrabel and hired in the, what was it, like 2020 or 21, and he thought it was because of the whole Rossini thing. He said they figured out something going on in the organization. They're like, we don't like that, because they had some very high success in those years with Tannehill and Derrick Henry, and they had some playoff contention teams. And then all of a sudden, bam, he's out and he's looking for another job. So he speculated that back then they caught wind of something going on and were like, hey, we don't want anything to do with this. See you later. So I thought that was interesting, obviously, because those pictures from 6 years ago also surfaced on like Twitter and Reddit and all that stuff. So just thought I'd throw that in there.
that's another crazy situation, though.
Yeah, right. So interesting. I don't know, man. We don't need to go too far into that. Graham, did you have any inklings on the Carolina draft this year? I didn't follow what they took at all. It was pretty much like Philly, Pittsburgh. Obviously, they highlighted Washington and Dallas. They got some of the higher grades in the draft, but and Arizona, I wasn't sure did very well. I'm not sure that they should have taken what's his face at 4 overall.
I love
Or 3.
at
Yeah.
3. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they've got James Conner there. He's getting older, so I guess it makes sense, and he's very injury prone. But I mean, they have needs at every other position on that team, including quarterback.
Yeah.
It was obvious. It was pretty obvious from free agency and from the way things were going that they were just going to wash this season essentially. But I don't know. I feel like they could have gotten more value taking one of the Ohio State defenders that was there, like either Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, or Arvell Reese. But
I think it's a bad organization pick. Like
it is a bad
he's a
organization.
sick player. Like he's
a
awesome.
sick player. He's
electric.
probably gonna rush for 1,000 yards this year. Like
it's almost like the Giants drafting Saquon. Like he was good for them, but it didn't make sense to like. You got to build an offensive line. You got to build a defensive line, and then you got to find a quarterback. I feel like that's where you have to start when you're that bad in their division too, because they have such a competitive division. So
yeah, for the most part, I think. I mean, I don't. There's not anybody that for Carolina that stands out that I really love, but I think it was a solid draft. I mean, Freeling's gonna fit in at tackle, their first round pick, right away. Mostly just getting needs. I would have liked to have seen them potentially draft a receiver earlier, but I think you have Ted, you have Jalen Coker,
had
who's
a down year, right? Did y'all get rid of him, or is he still on the team? He was
who?
supposed to
Sorry.
be nice. Xavier Legette. He was supposed to be nice last year, and he kind of like had a mid-season.
Yeah, he's still on the team, but I think Coker's established himself as the second best receiver on
Gotcha.
that team. And I I I don't know much about Brazel, who's the guy that they drafted in the third round. We'll see. I think he's gonna probably start wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3. But yeah, I think it was a solid. It was overall mostly just chalk picks, filling needs, that sort of thing. But I think we're going to compete for the NFC South again this year. I think it's continually going to be the same thing where whoever wins the division's probably going to win it with 9 wins, 10 wins. So I think they have a good shot of doing that again next year. And I think they surprised a lot of people this year. Yeah, they surprised a lot of people this year
Mhm.
with how they played, especially at the back end of the year and in the playoff game against the Rams. I think, um,
Showed you were legit.
last year I said best case scenario was 9 wins, and that's what they got. So they definitely exceeded expectations last year.
Right.
And I'm feeling pretty confident coming into this year that they'll, continue to progress, maybe make the playoffs again. I don't think they're gonna compete for uh, NFC Championship Super Bowl. But hey, you never know. Maybe they make a run, get a home game,
And
win that, maybe upset whoever they're playing in the divisional, Philly, Chicago, Green Bay, whoever it is, So
playoffs.
we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity there. I kind of like the Carolina Panthers position this upcoming season. You got a lot of young guys with some talent. Bryce Young finally kind of stepping into his role, learning what he's there and what he's all about. You got Tet, rookie of the year, coming off of that fantastic season. He's definitely a for sure #1 guy. Definitely want to watch him this year. Looked great. One guy I am very excited that was an addition to the Pittsburgh team that we did take from you guys was Rico
Rico.
Dowdle.
Yeah.
He was
I would
fantastic.
have liked to have re-signed him because
Yeah,
I I think he stepped in and just absolutely was the he was the guy. He was the offense for a good period of time for a stretch when Chuba was hurt. And even after Chuba came back, like he was the bell cow still. So,
yeah. I just don't understand how you let a guy like that go after
mhm,
those performances. Like honestly, like even for the running back market, he's still competing in a two-back system at Pittsburgh. Like he should be the lead guy somewhere, in my opinion. Like I would pay him a couple million a year. Obviously, he's getting a little shy, what, of 3 or 4 million with Pittsburgh. I would pay him 5 million 2-year contract somewhere. I think as a lead back guy, if you're really
yeah,
needing that position, like as an Arizona, I would take him over drafting what's his face in the first round. Use that on like a guard or a tackle that you need to shore up the line so somebody can get through the hole. You've seen progressive success from this guy over the years. He started out in Dallas. Is that correct? Um,
yeah, in
Air
Dallas.
touches. He was pretty decent, and then he moved on, got better. So I don't know. I'm expecting a nice season out of him this year. I'm very interested to see how we use him with Jalen Warren, just because Gainwell was a nice fit as like kind of a pass catcher, where we use
Like him.
Warren a 3-down back. So maybe those roles will be reversed this year. Who knows? But really like
Where's
that
where's
addition.
Gainwell at now?
Where did he go?
Why
We
didn't they
lost.
keep him? I know Aaron Rodgers loved him.
Yeah,
Because we're
Aaron Rodgers
dumb
loves
and he was
Gainwell.
not expensive. I don't know.
He's good. He was good for the Eagles too. Like if we didn't sign
Yeah,
Saquon, he would have started that year. We won the Super Bowl, I think. Like they would have been okay with it too, I think. I like him.
He is Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
Yeah. Two
alongside
year,
Bucky.
2 year, $14 million contract.
That's an interesting division, that whole NFC South.
Yeah, I
We're not
honestly,
tired.
if I'm being honest, the team that I'm most scared about is the Saints. I think the Saints they're gonna be good this year. Tyler Shuck looks good.
But they gotta deal with so much cap hit, dude. Like they like I don't know. Maybe if
Yeah,
they're decent this year, like they're not gonna be next year. They got so much dead cap.
I feel like they stink. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, the Bucks are always going to be in the
Yeah,
conversation.
they're
I
fine.
think I think they're going to go like 3-14 this year. They're going to be a
Dookie.
disaster. Yeah. I mean, so I think the three teams that are going to be in the mix are the Saints, Bucks, and Panthers. And I think I we know what the Bucks are
Yeah, for sure.
more so than we know what the Saints are. And I think I personally, I think Tyler Shuck might be the best quarterback of last year's class. So,
Don't forget
Cam
about
Ward, well,
Mike Evans. Mike Evans leaving Tampa Bay. He
that's
got
going to be
gotten
big for them.
but
Yeah.
he got hurt last year, came back. You never
I would have
know.
liked for him to retire there and play his whole career, but
I would
Great.
have too.
nobody
Yeah.
does that anymore. Bothers me.
No.
I mean, at the end of your career, depending on your lifestyle, we've talked about this plenty of times. Like, once you're there, you know you're making and spending that kind of money.
Yeah.
Maybe he's in a position where he's like, man, I need another 20 million to retire or something like that. So he's got to take a contract.
Yeah, I mean, look at a guy like Flacco, who's just basically extended his career being a backup for like 10 years, and he just like make $1 to $4 million every single year. That sounds pretty sweet.
Not a bad salary.
No, not a bad gig.
No. Not bad at all.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'd take that for sure. Damn. Yeah, so very interesting NFL season coming up this year. Got a lot to talk about. I'm sure we'll record an episode before the start of the season, and we can kind of get into mini camp and training camp and all that stuff, and what we see, who makes the active roster. What is it, 53 man, 51 man active roster for the NFL, and then practice squad guys, etc.
We started with the record crowd at the draft. My question is, would you attend the draft? Because the thing I can't wrap my head around is why people even go. I can barely get through it on the television. Like how
Probably not.
you
I did
stand
like
4
I
hours
did like how
in a
they
crowd of 600,000 people. That sounds terrible.
oh, awful. But I did like how they decreased the time this year. I think that moved along a lot faster, made it more watchable, especially from the couch. I can imagine like being there is probably so much better too. What was it, like 15 minutes last year? And if you traded, you got an additional 15 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, that they need to. What was it that they had this year? Was it 10
I think it was 5.
or is it 5? I think 5 is
I'll look it up.
plenty of.
And then like your team picks somebody and you like scream your head off and go crazy. Like that's not what happens when you draft somebody. I'm just like, oh, we drafted Tyler. Nice, good pick. Like it's just like what?
I mean, some people are
guess.
like that. I definitely think it's performative to some
It's
degree.
just crazy to me how many people go to that and just sit there and watch people get drafted.
Yeah, I
Kills
would
me.
not do that. Like you fly out to the city just to go to a draft. I get it, they've got like events going on and stuff, but the only way I would go is if I got invited to announce a pick. I think
that'd be
that's
sick.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
I would throw so much shade on my division rivals before I announce that pick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, someday the Slanted Attic experience might have enough pull to get us on the stage for one pick, but we probably have to share it. I don't know if we could get 3 individual picks. That'd be tough.
We'll have to find a draft. Carolina, Pittsburgh, and Philly goes 3 in a row.
Yeah, fantastic. So this says on NFL operations or operations.nfl.com, the time between first round selections was shortened from 10 minutes to 8 minutes. It was the first timing adjustment since 2008 when the allotment dropped from 15 to 10. So it seemed a lot faster. I thought it was more than that, but
yeah. I get there's a lot of moving parts, but it always makes me curious what they're doing. Like how many months of draft prep did you just do? You really need 7 more minutes to make a pick.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like it's like you've already discussed what your board is. You have the guys that you're going to pick. And so when it comes time for the draft, it's like, okay, this guy's not available, this guy's not available, this guy's not available. So then you go to the next guy available. Or if it's like, oh, we want to draft this position, who's the best available at that position? I don't feel like it's that much to it. Maybe I'm overthinking it or
I think the only part you might be missing is if there's like the natural talent athlete guys that if they're available and might not fit your exact needs that you would take at a certain number. And I think that's kind of where it gets a little bit tricky or muddies the waters, as Tom Brady says every single time he's on an NFL broadcast. But other than that, you're right. I mean, you have 35 people in a room. Like, I don't know. I mean, you've already analyzed and seen all the stats and the tape for all these guys, probably your top 30, 40 prospects. Like, you should be covered through at least the first 4 rounds, bearing anything absurd. You know what I mean? Like, how is it that Sean McVay has not seen tape on their, what is it, 13th overall first round draft pick?
Yeah.
Like, how is that possible? I don't understand that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
And
Well,
too apparently doesn't watch tape on a lot of the Niners picks I read.
Yeah, I saw that clip. He said that he trusts the position coaches to bring him guys, and he said he only watches the top 20 guys or whatever. He's like, they have to vet everybody else.
so that's why the Niners haven't been drafting as good these past couple of years. Because for a while they were the best drafting team. They were hitting on every single guy that they drafted, and now it seems like every
They're reaching.
every pick is a reach or a miss. The Rams, I mean, they've been notorious for not having first round picks. So I think for them, McVay is probably just like, well, we normally don't have them, so I'm just gonna just defer this to the GM and the rest of the team. But I don't think that's gonna happen anymore, given the guy that they drafted. So I think McVay did not seem pleased about that pick.
I don't
Which
love it for them either.
I don't think it made any sense.
I get what they're doing, but I don't think
I
it helps.
get I
Next
get
year.
what they're doing.
I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense if you've had conversations with Matt Stafford and he said either this is going to be my last year or I want to go maybe 2 more years and that's it.
Right.
But he's the reigning MVP. Quarterbacks have consistently been playing into their 40s now. Like, I would assume he's going to play at least 2, if not 3 more years, maybe more than that. He still seems like very much at the top of his game. This past year was arguably his best season, at least in the regular season. So
Back injury, though? That's what I've heard.
Injury concerns a little bit. I even saw they asked him if he texted him, and he was like, "No, but his wife reached out to me or something like that." I was like, "What? Stafford hasn't even texted you, but his wife has texted you?"
Yeah.
Weird.
But then they've got Stetson Bennett that they've been developing there too.
That's right.
So I don't think Ty Simpson's that much better of a quarterback. And Stetson also has more college experience and more NFL experience.
Yeah.
Like, Ty Simpson's only played 1 season of college football. And during that season, he had a good first half of the season and then just absolutely fell off a cliff and didn't play well at the back end of the year. So, I mean,
Maybe
we'll
it was
see.
throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Maybe they're just reaching, hoping to find that generational talent guy that, I don't know. We were watching the McAfee broadcast, and Dan Orlovsky was on there freaking out because he was like, somebody needs to draft this guy. I don't understand why he's still here, whatever. And so they were all talking about that, and everybody else was dogging on him. And he was all excited, so that was hilarious. They had Bill Cowher, which was awesome. He had a lot of good information and thoughts to share on all that. But yeah, man, hell of a 2026 NFL draft. Got any finishing comments on that before we kind of move on to the next stuff? We do have a few other things to chat about on this lovely Saturday.
I will say this. I don't know if this is I assume this is the first time this has happened, but 4 guys from the same school going in the top 10 picks.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. Got to be
That's crazy. That's got to be something. I didn't see any statistics on it, which is kind of surprising given the fact that ESPN
Maybe
like
Bama
always
with
has like random
saving
statistics.
days did it, but
Yeah. But it was even like the first 7 picks or first 8 picks. Because Sonny went 7, Caleb went 8, look at the draft list, but
Yeah, look at the numbers really quick. Let us know. I'd be interested to know.
oh, Caleb went 11. I'm sorry, so 4 in the first 11. But Carnell Tate went 4, Arvell Reese went 5, Sonny went 7, and then Caleb went 11. So four in the first 11, which is crazy from one school.
That's wild. That's wild. Damn. All right. Well, I'm glad I started the recording because we talked about NFL draft for a lot longer than I initially thought we were gonna, and that's great. That was one of the pinnacle topics for today. So, without further ado, we'll move on to the next sport that's taking place in the great month of May now and April previously. We'll talk a little bit about playoff hockey. We've got some NBA playoff talk for you in a little bit here, and then we'll round it up with the World Cup. Graham and Liam have plenty to say about that. So I'm kind of drowning in misery over here. Just almost watched the Penguins get swept. Thankfully did not. And then even had an inkling of potentially going to a Game 7 and beating the Flyers to move on in the first round of the NHL playoffs. Very disappointed in the game that just happened. What was it, 2 nights ago? But that's all right. Happy that we didn't get swept after the abysmal performance in the first 3 games. Honestly, the Flyers just looked fantastic. They were skating all over us and kind of just like we were never in contention any of those 3 games. I don't think. Maybe the 3rd game through the first period, I believe. And that's about it. So great playoff series. Ended up being very entertaining. I thought it was going to be a quick sweep. Then we pulled it back. Sidney Crosby in potential, series losing games is a fantastic hockey player. So, Penguins players kind of aging out of their pinnacle, their primes, and the Flyers are kind of a younger team looking to be on the rise here over the next couple years. So maybe your thoughts on this, Liam, because obviously as a Penguins fan, I had a lot to say and was very disappointed initially, but it turned out to be a great watch.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, one, it's just great to be back in the playoffs. The Flyers belong in the playoffs. They haven't been in the playoffs like I think 6 years, and they hadn't had a home playoff game in 8 years or something like that. Last time they made it, it was COVID, so they just hadn't been there in a while. And playoff hockey is unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's just the best. I've been watching all of it. It's great. And then you get to play Pittsburgh in the first round is even more fun. Probably like my top 3 hated sports teams. I would put the Penguins in there. I cannot
it was scrappy.
and Crosby, Malkin, and Letang. I can respect Crosby. The other 2 can F off. I hate them. But yeah, it was a great series. Going in, I think that was our best first round matchup for the Flyers. Gave us the best shot at winning. Stealing game 1 is always huge, I think. Martone scored a huge goal in that game late just to like put it away, which was sweet because he's been on the team for like 20 games and he's 19.
Yeah.
It's also crazy in the NHL that your college season can end and then you can just join the pro team. Like I know the draft's after, but if like the first overall pick in the NBA draft just like joined a team for their playoff run, like that'd be kind of sweet. You can do that in hockey.
It's gas.
But yeah, I think game 2 they just played a better game than Pittsburgh. Game 3, Pittsburgh came out good, and then I think they just rode the home crowd to victory. The Penguins that game kind of got out of sorts a little bit.
Was
With
that the
whole
game?
drum, and they had the 5 guys in the box.
Dude, that
which was awesome. That's
totally
just peak Flyers hockey,
was
right?
awesome, but that totally fucked over Pittsburgh because Flyers definitely initiated that fight, and then we got thrown in for the extra 2 minutes, which put us at a disadvantage power play for 2 minutes. I think they should have just washed it, let it like put everybody in the box and let that be it. But instead, I don't know why they gave him an additional 2 minutes.
First of all, putting all of them in the box was ridiculous.
That was hilarious.
The guys did most of it, and the other guys did nothing. But I think the refs were just done with all of it, so they were like, "You're all going in." I don't know. I feel like the guy deserved the extra 2 minutes. I know Konechny gave him the little elbow, and he started it, but you can't just pile drive a guy's head through the ice for 2 minutes straight with the ref trying to break you up. Like get out of here. You took a little elbow, give him a couple shots, he can't just he went nuts, Brian Russ, for no reason. He had no
He did
reason
go
to do that.
crazy.
He could have let Konechny take a penalty and it would have been no problem, and he just went wild, and it gave him all the momentum. Then when they
Yeah.
scored, the building goes nuts, and it's over.
It was over. It was over after that. After that, and y'all scored in the following power play. It was over. I think it was only 2-1 at that point or something like that. But the game, I was like to Grace, I was like, it's over. That the game is literally over. There was still like 10 minutes left in the second period. Or was that at the end of the second period or end of the first
That was
period?
like in the middle of the second, I think.
Yeah, so like there was still plenty of time
two
left.
straight goals after it.
Yep.
Then it's hard to sweep a team, so like Pittsburgh wins one, and you get another one at home. So then game 6, you're really like, oh God, are we really going to blow this?
And it was crazy game, man.
And that was like playoff hockey. Good goaltending, back and forth, physical. Both of the goalies were great.
It was the
and if
first.
he sees that puck, he saves it. Like he didn't see it at all. That's why it went in. So like I guarantee
It was the first what? It was the first overtime game with over 50 shots on goal in like 50 years or something crazy like that.
But as a Flyers fan, it was beautiful. When that goal goes in, it's just like pure joy.
Yeah.
And then he launched his stick into the crowd, which was crazy. I don't know if you saw that on his celebration.
I missed that.
Like helicoptered his stick into the crowd. Like
yeah, unfortunately for that game, I was on the phone with Grace and she was out of town and she was at a hotel and they have cable TV and we've got YouTube TV. So she was like 10 seconds ahead of me and I'm like intently watching and I'm like yelling at the TV because of the whatever happened to put them at
they almost
the
scored right
face-off.
before that. Remember?
Yeah, I was freaking
a wide
out.
open net. Yeah.
And then they put him at the face-off, and then she goes, yes! And I'm like, oh, no. And then it was the quick fucking face-off win, the pass shot. And I was like, after all that. Because I felt like we carried momentum into the overtime.
We played better that whole game, I think, honestly.
To win, yeah. But overall, super exciting. The energy is unmatched, honestly. And I'd urge everybody out there that's listening to this, if you haven't been in person to a playoff hockey game, no matter the team, I would go do that. I'm not a Capitals fan, but happened to be in the D.C. area when they were in the playoffs a few years ago. I was sitting at the very tippy top in the nosebleeds. Graham Bo was also there with me. And
we went to that. Yeah.
Absolutely electric. I mean,
it was electric.
Every time the puck got even close to the net, everybody's standing up and like yelling. The crowd was nuts. The energy unmatched. So highly recommend that to anybody out there that is a sports fan in general. Honestly,
I've been to Penn's Flyers in Pittsburgh for a playoff game when I was at West Virginia.
Yeah, that was probably
fun. It was a lot of fun.
I would say, I mean, I've never been to an NBA playoff game or an NFL playoff game, but the atmosphere of an NHL playoff game, I think, is the best of any sport. I would say. I just think the even watching it on TV, it's the most entertaining sport to watch in the playoffs because
agreed.
There's action going on at all times. You don't really know what to expect. Like a lot of times with with NBA or NFL, like the best team ends up winning at the end, through everything. But NHL, it's really a toss up. Like we've seen many, many times where like an 8 seed or like a lower seed, goes on this crazy run and ends up winning, getting to the Stanley Cup, things like that, which I just think makes it that much more exciting because it's not always like the best regular season teams, the team with the best players that wins all the time. A lot of times it's just, a team just gets really hot or a goalkeeper gets really hot and just makes incredible save after incredible save after incredible save. So hopefully, I mean, Carolina was the best team in the regular season in the East this year. So hopefully they can make it to the Stanley Cup, which they haven't done since 2006, so it's been 20 years. But I got hope for this team. It'll be interesting series with Philly, with the Flyers. Game 1 on is tonight. So
Yep, we're going to watch it. One thing I did want to note from, I don't know if it was game 4 or 6 when it was at the Flyers Stadium when they showed the Phillies, the team in the box, and the whole crowd was booing them. That was hilarious.
That was funny. That was peak Philly right there. I was dying laughing on my TV. I heard him show him, and I was like, I'm pretty sure the Phillies just got booed.
Talk about Philly energy, man.
It's also funny because their game got canceled, rained out, so they all went from the stadium across the street, and then they show up and get booed. I actually went to the highly recommend if a game gets canceled the night before, like it just got moved to 12:30 on Thursday morning. So I just went, like $8. It was great.
Yeah.
Ballpark's empty. You just sit, hang out. The game like doesn't even feel real because they're playing at noon. Like,
right.
Yeah, I feel like with double headers, do you get like a ticket for the first game and then you can also go to the second one, or are they separate?
Usually, yeah, but I just bought it for one.
That's so fun though.
Mm-hmm.
Did you buy like cheap seats and then go sit in a nice spot, or?
I sat in the very last row by myself and just watched the game. And I picked a seat where I could see the stadium here, and if I looked to the left, I could see the skyline off in the distance.
That's cool.
Chilled at the top by myself. It was sweet.
Honestly, fantastic. I feel like baseball is the best sport for leisure watching like that. I feel like the tickets should be cheap, man. Baseball tickets shouldn't be expensive.
No, usually I look, it's like $50. Yeah. I'm like, I can't afford that on like a Tuesday night. Just for me and Amanda to go, then it's like $120 of fees. Like,
and then you can't eat or drink anything.
Yeah, that would cost you a fortune. I think it's $24 for a beer at the Phillies game or something. It's just like
that's crazy.
And I take the train. It's $2.90, but you pay what? $40 to park, $50 a ticket, $20 a beer, $16 for your tenders. Like, unbelievable.
It's crazy because I want to attend these events, but like it's almost unaffordable for people to do it nowadays.
They say that about I think it started happening at Phillies playoff games. I could see it happening with the Flyers games, where each round they say like the crazy people just get priced out. And then you'll get to like the Eastern Conference Final, and the crowd isn't like as good as the first round of the playoffs because none of like the crazy real fans can afford tickets, and then it's like all the rich people who just like go hang out at the Eastern Conference Finals, you know?
Dude, I never thought about that, but you're totally right. It's got to be.
That's how I feel like that's how it is nowadays. It's like all the real fans get priced out of everything. Like I was trying to go to I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to because I figured like, oh, tickets are going to be really expensive, but I was like, oh, the Duke's playing St. John's at Capital One Arena in DC. Let me just check the tickets for it. Cheapest ticket, like in the nosebleeds, was $1,000.
That's crazy.
Which is insane.
I feel like people just buy them to sell them too.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is like I had a coworker of mine that went to the game. I was like, "How'd you get tickets?" He's like, "Oh, one of our clients invited me to the game."
Right.
Yep.
So it's all corporate shit now. Like all those seats, everything like that, like half of them are companies that buy a couple of seats for tickets and they're able to afford it, and then they have their employees or clients that they invite to the games. So that's kind of how that's gone. Is now it's more of like a corporate culture of sports where
they're making money, but
they're making money off of companies getting tickets so that
and the companies can take tax breaks as long as you have a large enough bankroll, you can write that off as a business expense as taking a potential client out to a game. Right. So like it's just a revolving circle of like these stadiums and the companies that own the stadiums can charge exorbitant fees because it's actually not being passed on to the direct fan, rather a company that gets tax reimbursed for people to go see the games, which is wild. Like, I'm all for like flat rate like tickets, bro. Make it like 25, $50 for the lower level, 15 for the mid level, 10 for the high level, or $5, whatever. And like, I don't know, there's no way you can't operate at a profit with that capacity. I understand things are getting more expensive, but I mean, there's got to be a way to do it.
And at that level, you're making most of your money on TV and sponsors anyway. Like, yeah, you get some nice ticket revenue, but the sponsors and like league revenue is what's driving your cap.
And you make money off of concessions and all that. The problem is that the teams, they don't sell tickets from the box office anymore. Like that used to be when we were growing up. It's like if you wanted to buy a ticket, you would go to the stadium, to their box office, and buy and purchase the ticket. Like now everything's done online.
Well, they have contracts. They have contracts with Ticketmaster and Live Nation. That's the problem.
And so they can Ticketmaster and Live Nation, all these companies, they have a monopoly on ticket prices now. So they can just jack up the rates, and they know that people are going to pay. And that's the problem, is that like these sports teams, they have allowed this to happen, and the ticket companies are just taking advantage of that. And it's not just sports, it's everything.
It's all connected though. I mean, these ticket companies have it's all the media revenue. I think they're all like a corporate banded. And again, this is a sports podcast, so we're not going to get too far into the conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't want to go down too much.
But it is in the federal court system. I do believe Ticketmaster's getting sued for antitrust or monopoly, something along that regards. But yeah, craziness happening, man. It's absurdity.
You were saying fixed pricing, like that's a lot of European soccer's like that, where all the games are like tiered. So if it's like a tier 3 game, it's like £50. If it's like a tier 1 game, they're like £90.
Right.
And like you can't charge. Then I'm pretty sure if you want to resell them, you don't just like put them on StubHub. You actually have to like tell the club, I'm not going to the game, and you give them the ticket, and then the club is supposed to redistribute the ticket at face value.
Right.
Like,
Scalping.
You're like, oh, I can't go to the playoff game, $3,000 for a ticket. Like,
yeah, scalping is. I'm pretty sure it's illegal. Like you can't, or if it's not illegal, it's highly frowned upon.
Yeah, I remember doing that growing up too. We'd go to the stadium and scalp tickets from guys. Like even that's pretty much gone. You see like one guy out front of the stadium nowadays that's like, anybody got any extra tickets? Like there used to be 20 people running around the parking lot selling tickets. And
yeah, because now all the scalpers are on
StubHub using bots.
Yeah.
Yep. It applies to all the crap. I mean, without getting on too much of a tangent, I was telling you guys about Pokemon cards today. I can't get anything. I haven't been able to get anything for 2.5 months because online bots and people are literally sitting and camping out overnight at these stores to grab all the stock. It's crazy.
People do that with like dinner reservations at hard to get restaurants, and they use like AI or whatever to like sign in and get them their reservation at 2 in the morning when it opens. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. People do some crazy shit. I don't know. Would you be a professional line like stander? Would you be a line waiter? Like people pay other people to wait in line for them. Would you do that?
Off the top of my head, no. But if some dude was like, "You want to stand in this line for like 5K today?" I'd be like, "Sure."
They actually have that at they have that at Mardi Gras. Like I went to Mardi Gras this year.
Yeah.
And there are people that like do that, and they'll save you a spot on the street, and you just pay them like a couple $100 to reserve your spot. Like you have to go to work during the day, and they'll just sit in your spot and reserve it for you. And then when you come at like 4 or 5 o'clock when the parade's about to start, like you just go and get your seat.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Low key, if I lived there, I would do that. What would you charge though? $500?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I do it for
per day, 500 per day. Yeah. Do it for a full week. That's like $2,500, and it's Mardi Gras 2 weeks. So if you do that for 2 weeks, they run parades every single day.
There's your 5K,
So,
Liam.
Yeah, I'll take that cash under the table. Thank you very much.
yeah, only cash
Doing
only.
business with you.
You gotta make sure it's cash only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah,
sit
IRS
with
don't
you
come
for
after
5
me.
hours. Yeah.
Gotta cut that IRS.
Listen to the Phillies on the radio.
No, man.
I've
Crazy.
had people do that at restaurants before. They ask for cash tips.
Yeah.
So they don't get taxed for it.
Yeah.
Because now they're implementing taxes on tips.
Yep.
Oh.
Craziness. All right. So NHL, fantastic start to the playoffs. This will probably come out hopefully before the Stanley Cup. I'm not sure exactly when that is, but I mean, there's
I
plenty
think
of
there's
plenty of
still
hockey to play.
two more series not done yet, I believe. I think Tampa forced Game 7 last night against Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one other team playing.
Buffalo is playing.
Oh, no.
somebody.
I think Vegas beat the Mammoth last night and sent them home.
Oh, it's just the next round. Okay. Because
think
I don't know who
Buffalo
won
won.
the Anaheim series.
Yeah, Anaheim beat Edmonton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's Vegas, Minnesota, Anaheim, Colorado, and then Buffalo, Philly, Carolina, Tampa Bay, or Montreal.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch. There's a bunch left. Okay, so this will likely come out before that that wraps up. So we should have some hockey to watch for those of you fans out there. Early analyzation of the first round. Obviously, both Liam and I are partial to some teams that played, and Graham, of course. But yeah, so NBA playoffs. Early start to that. Kind of a similar timeline to the NHL playoffs starting here to compete for the trophy. Been watching the 76ers play the Boston Celtics. I heard the Nuggets are kind of getting creamed by the Timberwolves, who are missing literally everybody except for Cat. The Rockets are also getting creamed by the Knicks. Record game the other night. I don't know if it's the largest lead to end the game or however it worked, but it was like 62-13 at one point, and that's crazy. What else we got? The Spurs. They're already in, yeah.
Yeah.
And then who else? Who am I missing? Lakers.
Pistons, Magic, Game
Pistons,
7,
Magic.
and
the
then
Magic
Cavs,
collapsed
Raptors.
last night. Did you see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
They were up huge. They scored like 8 points in the fourth quarter.
Who was that?
Orlando.
No, I didn't watch that one.
They were up like 20. They lost by like 15.
Wow. That was kind of reminiscent of the Philly win. It was like game 4, I think. Boston was up 2-1, and you guys were down by like 15 the entire game. And then all of a sudden, the fourth quarter, it was like a 30-point swing. You guys were up by 12, and they couldn't even touch you guys.
Yeah,
and then it was kind of over.
Seems to be Boston's MO right now. They either are like on fire and hitting everything, or they look like a complete mess. And since that fourth quarter, they've just looked awful.
Dude, they looked bad last night.
Last night was awesome. Or 2 nights ago, that was one of the better Sixers playoff wins in my lifetime when they had the double behind the back passes for the dunks.
Yeah, that was
But
filthy.
also, I think this is like the third time I've seen them play Boston, and I'm 0-3 against Boston, and I hate the Celtics. Like, that's our main rival. So pretty much our whole history is, can you get past the Celtics? And if they get past the Celtics, they usually go to the finals.
So what's the road
Game
like?
7 tonight in Boston, so that's going to be tough. We have all the momentum right now, though. Like we look like we haven't figured out. They have no idea what's going on.
Whoever
Joel
wins,
is battling. They can't guard him down low. Maxey is gross. Paul George is playing his role well. I like VJ a lot. We look good right now. Boston
some shots. VJ
first
was
time I've
missing
seen
some
Boston
shots.
lost like this too.
Yeah, he was missing a couple shots. So if he gets hot, I mean, that's a huge addition. Paul George is in his bag.
He was buttery.
Dude, there was one, it was like a dribble drive, step back, fade away, almost from the baseline. I don't even think it touched the net, bro.
Yeah, barely. He had like 3 in a row that barely touched the net, and I was like, oh, he's cooking.
I was like, that was nuts. And then he just threw up a heat check. I was pissed at Maxey when he threw up that one from like just past half court. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You guys are up by like 6. Like, you have a good opportunity to kind of close out the third quarter here. And
He gave it to PG.
yeah. But
it'll be tense. I don't think game 7s are fun. It's just I'm just like a stress ball for 3 hours.
it's nice not having an NBA team. Obviously, I'm rooting for Philly.
I also had low expectations, so I'm just happy they got here after being down 3-1. I'm proud.
Yeah, getting Embiid back was huge.
Done so far, so
it looked a little weird the first game back for him. They're kind of trying to integrate him back into the offense after spending so much time without him. So I think that was kind of why they lost that game. Yeah. But getting him back in, man, like Boston just does not have a matchup for him, and it allows the rest of your players to create. Mm-hmm. And
creates space. He's just like the gravity Embiid has on the court is unreal. If you just watch him, like,
but he's throwing himself around, man. I'm like, what the hell are you doing out there? He's like playing like pickup basketball. I'm like, dude, you are injury magnet. Like, stop.
And I feel like he's got his narratives. People don't like him. I absolutely love Joel. Like, and shout out the big fella. Like, literally had his appendix removed 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He still doesn't have knees. His knees are gone. And he's playing in it. He's balling. He's giving it his all. We did the push-ups last night.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that made me nervous at first. I was like, oh my God, protect the knees. He is. He's just throwing himself around. He's a little bit too big to be doing that, but
yeah. So what's the path look like in the Eastern Conference following tonight?
Yeah, so we would play
the Knicks, right?
The Knicks, that was unbelievable. Like, how do you do that as an NBA team and get blown out like that on your home floor in the playoffs? It's actually been a pretty good first round. I'm kind of an NBA playoff hater, especially because hockey's so good, but I feel like it's been a first round. But I don't know how you do that. That's like the worst thing ever. Graham sent a text of the screenshot of the score, and we all thought he was kidding.
Yeah, I had to refresh my screen because I was like, "There's no way this is real." It was like 72-22 in the second quarter. I was like, "That is insane."
Mm-hmm. We would play New York, or Boston. Philly plays New York.
Yeah,
Boston would play New York as well.
Yeah.
And then Detroit, winner of Detroit Magic plays a winner of Raptors Cavs. Those are both game 7s, I think. Oh, did you see the Raptors shot?
Yeah, RJ.
Dude, that rim is voodoo magic. That's the same rim Kawhi hit his buzzer beater.
Yeah, I was about to say that reminded me of the Kawhi shot.
RJ Barrett hit a buzzer beater, Tyler. It hit the back of the rim, went straight up in the air about 2 feet, and then just dropped right into the basket.
Oh my God. I gotta look this up.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's 2 game 7s. Oh, that's 3 game 7s in the East. That's actually pretty
3.
I didn't even think about this.
All the series in the West are wrapped up. I think the West is going to be chalk anyways. The East can definitely, especially if Philly wins.
Oh my God.
If you win, look out.
That was unbelievable. There's no way that angle, I just don't understand basketball physics sometimes. Yeah. Watching it again. Yeah, did it hit? I think it hit off the back of the rim, hit the backboard with backspin, and went up perfectly. I'll watch it another time.
Yeah, because Minnesota pretty much crushed Denver.
Yeah,
McDaniels was a beast.
Took care of Denver. They got the Spurs in the second round.
Yeah, so. Spurs are good, but I feel like OKC is going to come out of the West.
I have a feeling OKC is going to come out too. Although the Spurs have had the Thunder's number this year.
Yeah, Wemby is pretty decent. He's okay.
But I think the champions coming out of the West. I think whether it's the Thunder or the Spurs, I just don't.
Yeah, I think people would have said Boston, but after this, Boston's not winning anything playing.
No, they're not. I think the Knicks are the most likely team to come out of the East. But whoever
do you think they should play Tatum tonight? Do you see his calf thing and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna try to.
Yeah, I'm worried he's going to tear his other Achilles.
He might. I don't know. I think he came back too soon.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
I agree. I think the West is. I think the East is stronger overall, but I think the West has like top better team.
yeah, the West is definitely. I mean, they've got the reigning champ. I think honestly, I think the Timberwolves are really solid too.
Yeah, if they were healthy.
If the Timberwolves were in the East and they were healthy, I think they would make it out of the East.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
What's the timeline on Ant-Man's return? Do we know?
I have no clue, honestly.
no
Is
idea.
it like weeks or is he done?
Well, DiVincenzo, I know, is done. He's out for the season.
Right.
But I think Ant-Man, he might come back.
He could be back. I think that's what I read. I'm not sure though.
Maybe the start of the second round he'll miss.
Yeah.
I also feel like basketball is a sport. Usually you kind of know what teams are going to make it. Like you were saying, hockey can be just such a toss-up. Like in the NBA, I feel like you pretty much got
It's
your
more predictable.
2 to 5 teams that could make the finals and really like 1 to maybe even 3 that could win a championship. Like
Yeah. I think the last time really that I can remember where it was like the team that won, it was kind of surprising and nobody really expected them to was Dallas when Dirk went on that run.
yeah, maybe they're
But maybe the Raptors too. But I think the Raptors, it was also a case of the entire Warriors team.
and Kawhi just went nuts.
Yeah.
All right. So who are y'all's teams to potentially win the championship / to come out of each conference? Because I've got the betting odds pulled up right now, and hear what you guys have to say before I let you know what the odds are.
I would say Knicks and Thunder would be my.
Well, I'm gonna go with Philly. I think the Thunder too.
Thunder.
But my non-biased opinion, basketball or Eastern Conference, I might go the Cavs.
Cavs.
Got to get out of the first round.
Yeah.
Celtics are still the most heavily favored to win the Eastern Conference. Thunder are by far the most heavily favored to win the West.
Yeah. Healthy Spurs and Timberwolves can give them a run for their money, though. Like, that would be a good Western Conference Finals between any of those 3 teams, I think.
Yeah. I think the Spurs are just, I mean, the Thunder are also really young, but the Spurs, I think maybe another year.
Yeah. Who's second odds in those? Knicks. Someone else?
So it's Celtics are plus 180 to win the Eastern Conference. Knicks are plus 275. Cavaliers are plus 400. Pistons are plus 400. 76ers are plus 2,500.
Yeah.
Magic plus 4,000. Raptors plus 6,600.
Wow, why are the Raptors so low? That's weird.
I take the Sixers with those odds.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if they take
win tonight.
If they win tonight, I think they got a good shot. Because whoever's coming out of the East is coming from those teams. Knicks, Celtics, Sixers.
Yeah.
I don't trust
I guess
Detroit. I don't
trust Detroit.
I'm not too confident on Cavs or Raptors either. So
I mean, it's OKC, New York. You guys think?
Yeah, most likely. I guess Boston too, but they look so bad.
I'll throw wagers on that.
They look so.
And then before we move on to the World Cup that is happening this year in North America, I don't know if I texted you guys the bet that I won from the Masters a few weeks ago. Did I tell you guys about this?
You might have sent it. I can't remember.
Did I? So I'll highlight it for the Sports Room podcast series
Justin
on the
Rose,
Slanted Attic
Cameron Young,
Experience. Yes.
Colin Morikawa, and Tyrell Hatton, all to finish in the top 10.
Yes. So we, Grace and I do place a couple small wagers on a lot of the major golf tournaments. We're heavy golf watchers. So obviously, like, these are just shots in the dark. Golf is so unpredictable. I've only won. I mean, just to clarify, put it out there, don't really heavily bet on golf. It's really difficult. But I've placed hundreds of parlay wagers on golf over the last couple years, and I keep my units small so I have money to play with in there. I just find it extremely entertaining to do. But anyways, Grace and I each picked like 3 or 4 parlays before the Masters started on Thursday of April. I think it was like 10th or 11th. And one of the ones I chose was top 10s, like Graham said: Justin Rose, Cam Young, Colin Morikawa, and Tyrrell Hatton. It was 10 cents to pay out $39.15. The response I got from literally everybody was, imagine if that was $1 or $10 or $20, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, 100%. But like for me, it's continuing to be able to bet with cash in my bankroll now on the thing. Like, you know, I'm not withdrawing money. I'm still throwing 10-cent bets. Like when we were talking about the NBA finals, I threw money on Philly to win it all, and then New York and OKC. So if OKC wins, I'll basically almost break even, but it's about, like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, bet
dopamine.
$20, it wouldn't have hit. That's the thing that people forgot to say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you bet $100, you would have won 39,000, but you lose $100. The odds on that were like plus what was it, like plus 39,000? Like,
yeah. Right.
like you're only gonna hit one of those every once in a while.
Yeah, I've hit 4 golf parlays of like 4 legs or larger in 3 years of betting golf. So
yeah,
if that's indicative. And out of all the events, we probably have only bet 40% of them. So probably like 15 a year, if I had to guess. So 45 events, a couple of parlays a pop. I've only ever hit 4. So put that into perspective in your statistical analysis machine and see if it's worth it. Right. So, yeah, it's fun to throw a couple units every now and then. Gray said it fantastic on the last podcast. I referenced it last weekend already. That's going to be in the 60s, just like this one. He said, we don't unit shame here. So I'm thankful for all you folks out there that don't unit shame, but I do get to enjoy myself while doing it. Yeah, any thoughts on the NBA stuff before we move on to the World Cup? As I suggested before, you guys take the reins on that one. Obviously, I can talk about ticket pricing, as we already alluded to, but yeah, I don't know nearly as much about it.
No, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to touch on Tottenham at all, Liam, but doesn't look too good for
yeah, before the World Cup, like all the domestic soccer's finishing up. Champions League semifinal. Atletico Arsenal are 1-1 on their first leg. I don't know if you saw the Barcelona Bayern PSG game.
That's one of the best games I've ever seen.
Awesome.
That was an awesome
wait for that second leg. That should be the final.
Oh, yeah.
I wish that was the final.
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly the 2 best teams in Europe. Yeah. So, Harry Kane, best striker.
I'm pulling for him.
Best striker in the world. Yeah, I'm pulling for him to get a trophy. Hopefully they'll. I mean, PSG, they won it last year.
Mm-hmm.
But Bayern looks to be good. They've got their 2 best players, Kane and Olise, who you'll definitely see in the World Cup, Tyler, if you're watching. Harry Kane plays for England. Olise plays for France.
I'll be watching.
Those 2 of the favorites definitely for the World Cup, I would say, along with Spain. Those are probably the 3 juggernaut teams. I probably would lean more towards favoring Spain and France than England, just because of the recent history. Last 2 World Cup winners were France and Argentina. So Argentina will definitely be in the mix as well.
Want to know the odds?
Yeah, what are all the odds for
Yeah,
all
I
the
am
teams?
curious. I feel like France is the favorite.
I assume France is or is it Spain?
Spain is the favorite at plus
Spain's the
450.
favorite.
France is 2 at plus 550. England is 3 at plus 600. So not a huge spread in between the top three.
Yeah.
And then after that, it does move up. Argentina and Brazil are both at plus 800. Portugal at plus 900. And then you have stuff into the thousands.
Where are we?
U.S.
We got no shot, but
I'm scrolling way down.
hope they just play well.
Honestly, I think if they can make it to
not as low as I expected.
Quarterfinals, that would be.
We're plus 5,000 with Morocco.
If we can make it to the quarterfinals, that's an accomplishment.
Morocco was in the semifinal last time, so
yeah, they were.
We can make a semifinal, but they're good.
Yeah, I've seen analysts talk about like, oh, the U.S. has a shot at the semifinal. Like, no, let's be realistic here. It's round of 16 or quarterfinal, best case scenario. Right. Like we're not at the level of these other teams. Like even the Netherlands, who, they're not one of the favorites, but
they tore us apart in the.
They tore us apart last year in the round of 16. Like they're clearer than us. Morocco's better than us. Even some of the other teams, in Africa, like Senegal. Is good. Sadio Mane.
They have Senegal way down below us, but the teams they have above us are Morocco, as you suggested, Switzerland, Colombia, Belgium, Norway, Netherlands, Germany, Portugal, Brazil, Argentina, England, France, Spain.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's where we are as a country. It's like get out of the group, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I would like to win around the game, but like if we get out of the group, I feel like I'm happy with our World Cup performance.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a pretty easy group. So we're the second best team in the group. It should be fairly easy for us to get out, but
Turkey's good though. So I try not to get all into like the preseason form and stuff like that too. Like
that's true.
These guys are like with their clubs for 3 months and then come play like 3 games in 2 weeks, then go back to their clubs. And I just feel like it's hard to.
And a lot of those games, it's trying to feel out the squad, like who's going to make the team.
Then like what do? You're losing to Portugal, so it's like that doesn't look good. But okay, we just play some bum team and beat them 4-0. Like what's the difference?
Yeah. But I think
it'll be good. The World Cup's great.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting with 3 host countries. Philly's got some games.
And it's an expanded World Cup too. There's 48 teams. I'm not a fan of it either.
You don't need to expand stuff more.
No. I think there are certainly some teams in here that they're just going to get their butts whipped. Like Uzbekistan is in here in the World Cup.
Curacao.
Congo. Yeah, Curacao,
Jamaica.
Democratic Republic of Congo, Jamaica. Those teams got in because the US, Mexico, and Canada were all automatic qualifiers. So but yeah, I think this is a very top heavy World Cup for sure. Do you see any Morocco's this year in the World Cup? Maybe.
I mean, I feel like there's always one. I like the Turkey team, honestly. They have like just like a couple really good players too.
Yeah,
Güler on Madrid is good, and Yildiz on Juventus is super good.
And Kadioglu and Brighton.
Yeah, on Inter. And then I don't know, like when you have a guy like Norway, some of those teams that have like, I was gonna say an Mbappe, but Holland, like you never know with him, he could just go off, and next thing you know.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll lead me to, do we want to place, what do you guys say, Norway as a throw for like a quarterfinal or a semifinal bet? Or what was the other team you were suggesting?
Let me see these groups first too.
Yeah, I gotta look at the groups because are there is it like the Euros where they're going to be 3 teams that make it in some? Because with
Because it's expanded now.
yeah, because there's how many groups?
There are A through L. They're 12.
12 groups.
Yes.
So 24 make it to the round of 16, or is it
To reach the last 16. Yes. To reach the last 16. USA is plus 125. They have Morocco, Mexico, Japan, Switzerland, Colombia, Norway, Belgium, Netherlands, Portugal, and the rest above us.
Yeah. So I could see Norway making it kind of far. They got to get out of the group though, but because they're in a tough group. Senegal's a good team. France, obviously, one of the favorites. The one team I was looking at that I think could kind of surprise some people. I mean, they are one of the host countries, but Mexico's in a pretty weak group. I think they could surprise some people and make a run to the quarterfinal, maybe the semifinal. I think with those round of 16 and quarterfinal games, a lot of those games are tight. It's 1-1, it goes down to the last few minutes of the game, extra time, and then maybe penalties. So maybe they can kind of stretch a game with one of the, bigger teams, and kind of take the game to penalties and win in penalties. I could see something like that potentially happening. But yeah, I could see Norway as well, but Norway's in a fairly tough group. Definitely one of the tougher groups for sure.
So Mexico would be a little bit more sure of kind of a quarterfinal bet in that regard.
I think
If we
so.
were offering betting advice, if we were professional gamblers, which we are not, disclaimer.
Yeah.
Liam, who do you see?
Yeah, I like the Mexico shout. I'm just looking through the groups. Other teams in general that I kind of just like find myself rooting for. Like I think Netherlands is always a good bet. Like just in terms of they're never like the top favorite, but they always have a really good team, and I feel like they always make a run.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well,
sometimes Uruguay is another one of those teams.
yeah. The one concern I have with Netherlands is, they always have a solid defense, but they've always been struggling. They kind of struggle to score sometimes, and one of their most creative attacking players who is on Tottenham now, Javi
Dude,
Simmons, is well, he tears ACL, so he'll
yeah,
be out for the World Cup. So he won't be there. So that would be something that kind of may hinder Netherlands. But I do think they'll definitely make it out of the group. And they could ease. I could see them making a semifinal for sure.
yeah. Senegal is good too. Get it?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
goal to
you're
quarterfinals is plus 700.
What about Sweden? Is Japan favored over them?
To reach
Uh,
quarterfinals to win, what do you want me to look at? It's a little bit different because of the group play.
Like getting
yeah.
to the round of 16. I feel like Sweden could make it. They just got Gyökeres.
Yeah,
Or
Gyökeres and I mean,
Sweden
is
is
Isak
low.
gonna be? Is Isak gonna be there? Because I
he
mean,
he was playing for
Isak
Liverpool
is
this weekend, I think.
yeah. So
'Cause that's Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia. So that's probably Japan, Sweden for that second spot, I would guess. The Japanese always have a good showing in like team tournaments.
Japan is plus 125. Sweden
They're-
is plus 250 to reach 16.
I don't
yeah,
know a lot about the South American countries.
Japan's solid. I would say one team to look out for is definitely Ecuador. Ecuador they got a good team. They got
They're plus 150.
Moise Caicedo.
He's a beast.
He is a beast. They've got a solid defense. Nkapie, who plays for Arsenal, Pacho, who plays for PSG. So they're one of those teams that I think could definitely surprise some people as well. Um, so give a shout to Ecuador, Colombia. The South American teams are always going to be a threat.
Yeah, they're gonna have good fan showing too.
Yeah,
Probably.
they always show out fan wise. I think the favorites in terms of like the South American teams, the the big dogs, Brazil, Argentina, I think they're going to be not as good this year.
Yeah.
Argentina made the World Cup or won the World Cup 2022. I think this is going to be a down World Cup for them. Personally, I think they might, you know, lose in the round of 16 or quarterfinals. Same thing with Brazil. I think both teams will make it out of the group stage, but Brazil, I don't see them really having success, and they haven't really been able to
No,
have
like our whole life they haven't really.
no.
So I think
So
they won the World Cup in the US, the last one. It's
yeah,
kind of dropped.
yeah, yeah. But in terms of who's gonna win, I I mean Spain's the betting favorite. I think rightfully so. I I would pick Spain. I think France, the squad they have, just like the amount of players to choose from that they have is insane. It's ridiculous how many like top quality players that they
It
have
really is.
at every single position. It's like two or three guys per position that you can make an argument for should be starting at each position. Um,
Dude, just the
but
front with Elise, Mbappe, Dembele, and Doué. That's just
and that's not even Cherki. Like
yeah,
Cherki's been one of the best players in the Premier League this year, and he's not even going to make, you know, probably won't be won't start. You know,
yeah. I feel like
uh,
Elise is their best player right now.
I think he is. I would. I mean, Mbappe's been very good as well, and he'll play. Um, but we'll see. And I mean, Barcola is good too.
Yes,
Um,
their defense is good.
their defense is solid. Their midfield, I think. I assume Conte will probably play
Yeah,
in the World Cup. Rabiot. Um, so yeah, always have a really good squad, but I would give the edge to Spain. I think personally, their midfield is solid, solid defense, and then they have the X factor in Lamine Yamal.
yeah, he's
I
so
think
good.
he kind of is a big game player, and I think he'll step
Yeah,
up for him. So
they won the Euro, right?
yeah, they did.
Yeah, but
Damn.
yeah,
But we're not going to be able to witness it in person. We
No,
talked about that before we got on the record.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, we mentioned the ticket pricing for everything else, and then I think World Cup is amplified just because
yeah,
of how big of an event it is.
Which is a
Um,
bummer, man. I'm not like the
yeah,
largest soccer fan, and that would have been an event I really would have wanted to attend as a sports fan
yeah.
in general.
Well, and
Like
it's
that.
like casual fans in America, like Liam and I, we follow international soccer. We watch the Premier League, we watch Champions League. But
Right.
the casual fan, the World Cup is what you watch. Like you learn about all of these players from all of these countries. Like,
Right.
there's guys that are for that are, gonna show out on the World Cup on the world stage. Oh yeah, that guy's been good for like 5 years. You just haven't heard of him
yeah,
before because you don't follow it the same.
uh,
And I was
yeah,
kind of like that before I started watching soccer too, where it's like, oh, who is this Kevin De Bruyne guy? It's like,
yeah,
oh, Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best midfielders in the world. Like, just things like that. Like I don't know if you had heard the name Michael Elise before, Tyler, but not
No.
he kind of bursted onto the scene these past couple of years and established himself as one of the best players in the world.
But he was like great at Palace. If you were watching
he was really good at Crystal Palace, but again was at a lower tier team in Crystal Palace where he was more on a mid-table team. He got injured quite a lot as well, so it kind of and he wasn't at the level where he was playing at a World Cup in 2022 or even at the Euros 2 years ago. He's progressed to this point where now he is one of the best players and will definitely be playing regularly in the World Cup for France.
Yeah.
I think your best bet getting in is to just like print out a fake ticket, put $200 cash, $100 cash under it, and just hand it to the guy and see if he'll let you in. And if he doesn't, you lose 100 instead of 500 and go home.
Yeah, we used to do that at tech games to get into North.
You'd have the old school way to get in.
Graham. Yeah, I don't know if this story's been told on the Slanted Attic experience.
I know. I printed the wrong ticket. I printed ticket and used his ticket to scan, and I meant to use my ticket to scan into the game, so he couldn't even get into the game because I was using it to get into North.
This is college game day.
I don't know. It wasn't Clemson.
Yes, it was, dude. I promise you, because one of my friends from high school had visited, and and I couldn't get into the game.
I think it was
dude,
Georgia
I promise you, it was Clemson. It was like
no, I don't think it was
Clemson. I promise you, it was Clemson. I remember it, bro.
I'm sorry about that, Tyler.
No, it's okay. I've gotten over it after years. We got smushed in that game anyway, so
yeah.
Oh my God.
We did that with like upper bowl and lower bowl tickets, and you would scan your upper bowl, and then you would like take a screenshot of your ticket and put a text box over it and write lower bowl on it, and you swipe it over and show the attendant.
So that's what we did. I used to Photoshop the tickets with other people's names. I should have swapped the barcodes or something. That was my own dumb fault for doing that, because I think I just put Graham's name on the ticket because they looked at our student ID and the ticket to make sure the name matched. And then you were able to get into the specific end zone seating. And since I lucked into the lottery and got the North end zone tickets for that year, I frequently did that for all of our friends so we could all sit together, of course. And I was just as much at fault, but I like to rib on Graham and give him a hard time because I missed the only game day we had. No, but yeah. Synopsis of that game: if you have not watched, if you're not a Hokies fan or a Clemson Tigers fan, you probably have not watched the game. It was on national television, however, big game day, but we got absolutely smoked. It was not a good game to be at as a Virginia Tech fan. So
also,
overall,
one final thing, Tyler. So I was actually at the spring game this past 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you went to that?
Yeah. Did you see what happened? Liam, have you heard about what happened at the spring game? So there were 3 parachuters that were coming down at the start of the game. 2 of them made it on the field, and then the third guy was trying to make it into the stadium. Though he like caught the wind and realized he couldn't make it and tried to bail out and make it to the practice field, but he got dragged into the scoreboard and smashed into the scoreboard.
My God.
Yeah.
He was okay.
And he got
fine, but
so what, like Graham had said, some air draft caught him, and so he had to turn around and bail, and the practice field is right behind the scoreboard. So the north end zone that we were just talking about,
like where they stand.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just a scoreboard there. So I assume he tried to get up over the top, dude, and he smacked it, and then he got stuck up there. and they couldn't reach him with the fire truck ladder, so they had to bring in like a boom crane and come get him.
And he's just like dangling from the parachute.
He's dangling from there. Yeah, he was dangling from there for like 45 minutes.
And this was like an army dude, right? Not just some random guy jumping out. Like,
yeah, it was a paratrooper or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it delayed the start of the spring game for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, well,
how was the game after that?
They should have played. He would
have. I only stayed because I had to leave after that, but I only stayed we were only going to stay till halftime, and then ended up staying till the end of the first quarter. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. But
how was the vibe though? How was Franklin on the sidelines? Or the players that look excited to be
good.
there?
Vibe was good. Stadium was packed. There were a good amount of people there. I would say probably like 30,000-40,000. So for a spring game, that's
a big crowd.
That's a big crowd. So it was good.
Capacity's what, like 67 or a little under 70?
Yeah, 66, I think, something like that. But,
so that's packing the stands for the spring game, baby. Come on.
Yeah.
Getting excited for this year. We talked pretty extensively about the Hokies come up this year. James Franklin hire, the Brent Pry demotion. That was strange. One of the first times that's probably ever happened in the D Mills Ben podcast. Ben he grew up in Blacksburg, resident Hokie basically, and has been going to games his entire life. So we talked pretty extensively about that. D Mills is a Who's fan, unfortunately, but yeah, super interesting events happening at the spring game this year. So we'll see how it turns out for our Hokies this year. Graham, unfortunately, is wearing a Duke shirt. I don't know what's up with that, but it's all right. We're on audio, so you guys can't see him.
Yeah. Well, I'm outside right now. It's a little chilly, so I had to put on a sweatshirt.
He's wearing a Hokie shirt underneath that, of course.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, fellas. What else we got? We're in here like an hour, 40 minutes. What else we got before we wrap it up for this weekend's Sports Room? I think this is the 8th installment of the series.
Yeah, I'm all good. I think we covered a lot of stuff.
So. Don't know anything about horse racing, Kentucky Derbies today.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I almost forgot.
I guess we're doing now like tennis and golf master or majors will be popping up occasionally. Philly's got the PGA this year at Aronimick.
Nice.
Yeah, Masters, quick recap. Rory kind of established himself. Yeah, so, I mean, like, winning that back-to-back's a crazy accomplishment right after you win the Grand Slam, nonetheless. Yeah, lots of golf to be had. That's what we can touch on quick. The LIV PGA, the funding, the Saudis lost the funding for the LIV League, so there's kind of a question mark there. Bryson and who was the other one? And Rahm were the ones that turned down the contract because they're still under contract, and a couple of the other guys are willing to take the year ban and then a couple $1 million in fines. Don't know if you guys saw that.
No,
I saw some people trying to join. I thought someone came back.
Yeah, there were a couple guys that did. I forget the names. It's rumored that Phil's going to retire after this.
I don't find these guys. I think you just let them back in the PGA.
Yeah.
Just move on from all that. I don't know.
I think you got to give them some sort of ban or some sort of repercussion. I mean, what these guys that stayed in the league and didn't take like a salary job for 4 years, you know, like Koepka, who's come back and done that, you know, I'd be pissed if I were like a mid-tier player and then all of a sudden the market gets flooded with these guys that took a paycheck. And I was like, all right, I'm trying to be, you know, keep the integrity of, you know, the PGA Tour and do all this stuff. And then maybe I'm marginally moving up in the rankings, but now since all these guys are coming back, I shoot back down. I'm barely covering my caddy and my, like, you know, my travel costs and all that stuff. Like I think they need to show those guys some love or make the other guys wait or something in that regard. They need to find a happy medium because I don't think it's fair to those guys who stayed true to the PGA and didn't take the money to kind of get screwed over in all of that. I'm willing to let the guys back. I think the competition was good. I think it actually made the PGA Tour better.
Yeah.
In terms of like increasing prize pools, the designated events, and
Shake
stuff
up with
of that nature. Yeah, exactly. They needed it. I mean, PGA is an old organization. It's been around for a while. No real competitors until recently. Now, that being said, obviously, another podcast discussion. We don't necessarily agree with the politics of the Live League and all that fun stuff, but interesting way to shake it up. The formats they did, letting everybody wear shorts. I think they should let them do that on the PGA Tour as well. But hey, whatever is what it is.
I think Liv kind of botched it if you think about it. Like
100%. They had a
Yeah,
real
they
opportunity
did.
and the money to do so. They just
there was
didn't
talks
secure
about
any
a merger too at some point.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't get any media deals. That was their downfall, I think.
Yeah, they almost just didn't take it like quite seriously enough. Like they had that initial little buzz with being different, but I feel like if they kept it a little bit more of the traditional structure with all that other stuff, I think it would have taken off, honestly.
I
Yeah.
agree.
They had some of the big names and like more fun names too, I feel like.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe instead of 72 holes, you do 64 3-day tournaments or something like
Yeah.
that. Make them play all of that. It's a fun format. Do the DJs and fun stuff still,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I agree with you. I think they had a real opportunity there. However, it did impact modern golf in, I think, a positive way. So we'll see how that kind of integrates with the rest of the golf season. I'm sure more details will come out before this podcast airs, but yeah, golf, baseball, Kentucky Derby. That's what I wanted to look up. For all you Kentucky Derby fans, I'll look up the odds. Hopefully, figure out what's going on there, and then we'll let everybody get on with their glorious. This will come out Monday, so maybe a Monday, maybe a Tuesday, maybe a weekend. Whenever you're listening to this on your drive home from work or drive to the beach. Uh, Hopefully it's a vacation and not work, but
Yeah. Oh, one of the horses is scratched. The Puma
No way. That's
got
the thing.
scratched, so there's only gonna be 19 horses instead of 20.
That's brutal for them.
Yeah.
what time does it start? I remember we watched it live on the pod last year.
Yeah, we
That's crazy.
did.
You're
We
right.
did. Yeah. With D Mills.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
had
think
D Mills.
I'm always like, oh, the race is going to be at 1 o'clock, but then there's just like a million prelims, and then they don't race till like 5:45.
Yeah.
that was happening.
Usually,
Yeah, it usually starts like right around 5.
forget
And then
how
it's like for a
prelim-
couple minutes. So it's like you either are watching it when it happens or you're not.
Yeah.
It's like
It is electric though.
it is
Yeah.
electric for
The guy
those
who
like
does the
couple
call
minutes.
is so good at it.
It's almost like the auctioneer
Yeah, yeah.
or the guy at
Yeah.
the end of pharmaceutical commercials.
Yeah.
And this drug can cause side effects. I'm like, did you catch all that? You sure? Yeah, so we got a couple interesting names of horses kind of going on this year. Renegade, Ortiz Jr. Oh wait, where'd it go? I just had it. Oh, here we go. Renegade is 5-1. Albus 50-1. Intrepido 55-1. Litmus Test 34-1. Like that. That's funny. Commandment 7-1. Pretty good odds. Danon Bourbon 14-1. So Happy 6-1. Wonder Dean 20-1. Incredibolt 27-1. Chief Wallaby 9-1. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Potente 23-1. Emerging Market 11-1. Pavlovian 52-1. Six Speed 40-1. Further Ado 7-1. Golden Tempo 36-1. Great White 29-1. Ocelli 50-1. And Robusta 50-1. Chief Wallaby, I don't know, 9-1. I forgot you can't gamble on horses in Virginia, I don't think.
Oh, I think we talked about this last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, we
Emails
need
is
another
pissed.
app and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because he got it right. He was like, I'm going to throw 20 on this horse. And it was like 20-1. He was like, I'll buy you guys a steak dinner tonight. And we're like, all right, bet. And then it was too much effort for him to download the app and do all the fun stuff. So
Yeah.
we didn't take dinner. But yeah, we got baseball on, regular season. Not much to really say there. Phillies are kind of on a rough stretch. Pirates are on a good stretch. So likely to see that momentum shift by the end of the season. But yeah, anything you guys have to add before we get out of here? Another glorious Saturday talking about sports.
I'm good. Nothing. I think we covered
Yeah.
a lot. So
Go Flyers, go Sixers. I'm
go
gonna
Canes.
shout out Matty Cord, the Sixers PA announcer, is retiring after this year, and he's awesome. So he might have done his last home game on Game 6, hopefully not. But he's a beast. Shout out Matt Cord. I wish you weren't retiring.
All right, Matty Cord, if you hear this, we love you on the Slanted Attic, and
Yeah.
we wish you well into retirement.
Yeah.
You watching? Man?
Was that?
My bad. I thought you stopped it
Oh.
already.
No. Go ahead if you're
Are you watching
ready.
Game 1 tonight?
Yeah. I'm probably gonna watch some of it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll text about that.
Yeah. We'll chat about it.
All right, fellas. Well, I appreciate your time on a wonderful Saturday. Mid-weather here in Richmond, Virginia. As most of you know, the Slanted Attic experience currently hails from in an attic/side room somewhere. Thanks for listening all this way. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for sticking with us through the transition to the new podcast hosting platform. Our website is available and updated weekly with the new episodes on there. You can learn more information about Graham or Liam through that. They give a little synopsis, as well as you can see all the episodes that they have taken part of. And we appreciate all the time they've put into this. A lot of thought process and sports watching, or else none of this would have been possible. And yeah, the willingness of you guys to kind of be here and talk with me on a Saturday. But appreciate you guys. You can find us on all your traditional podcast outlets and platforms. We're on slantedattic.com, at Slanted Attic on social media, and we'll see you guys on the next one.